Steve Jobs' investing lessons that will change your life. Who doesn't admire Steve Jobs? But do you know he has investment tips that could change your life? Well, in today's video, we are showing you those tips. Watch the video until the end and subscribe to our channel for more uploads like this. Here we begin. Passion matters. Throughout his life, Steve Jobs maintained perspective. His writings and videos of his speeches show a man who could separate himself from the crowd, avoiding groupthink and maintaining a relentless focus on excellence. Market research is abundant in today's sanitized business world. Many businesses and political parties are constantly looking for new ideas by polling groups of people in the target market about their thoughts on a new idea or product. I don't know if Steve Jobs tested his new ideas in market research. What we do know is that he was adamant about developing new products. He chose to be both innovative and creative. You can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give it to them, Jobs said. They'll want something new by the time you finish it. Jobs, and by extension Apple, had a very specific product development approach. They took the field of dreams approach, believing that if you build it, they will come. To that end, Apple's team focused on creating a great product. They wanted to make something they were proud of, something they wanted to use themselves. It takes guts to believe that your desire can be translated into a mass market offering, but it worked for Apple. Importantly, Apple did not compromise on passion or quality, believing that success would bring its rewards. A lot of companies have chosen to downsize, and perhaps that was the right thing for them. So we took a different route. We believed that if we continue to offer great products to customers, they would continue to open their wallets. Never fear failure. His chosen successor fired Jobs. However, he didn't give up hope because, as he put it, I still loved what I was doing. He reassembled the pieces of his life and returned to work, following his passion. This is what Jobs said when asked how he felt after being fired from Apple. The heaviness of success was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner once more, less certain about everything. It allowed me to enter one of my most creative periods. Over the last 8 years of his investing career, he might have failed frequently, and on occasion spectacularly. But that's something he has always assumed would happen. Nobody can predict what will happen in the future. This is especially true in terms of stock markets. So why act otherwise? If you truly want to succeed as an investor, you must first expect to fail, to be wrong. So don't waste time blaming others when something goes wrong. Instead, gather the broken pieces, repair them, and begin investing again. With your mistakes not behind you, but right alongside you as hard lessons in investing. Anything is possible through determination and a sense of vision. Steve Jobs had a dream. He put in a lot of effort, and he succeeded. Despite his serious illness, he worked hard to develop new products and technologies. Although Jobs was the greatest CEO of all time, he was ultimately just a husband, father, and friend like anyone. You can be as unique as he was if you learn his lessons and apply them in your life. Only by giving yourself time and working hard towards your goal can help you to become a successful investor. This has the potential to change your entire life, and investing is only a small part of it. In his most recent blog post, Seth Godin, a leading American entrepreneur, author, and public speaker, writes about Steve Jobs. I'm unable to write a proper eulogy for Steve Jobs. There is too much to say, and many people can say it better than I can. It's one thing to miss someone and feel a void when they are no longer there. It's another thing to do something with their legacy to honor them through your actions. Steve dedicated his professional life to providing us with the most powerful device ever made available to the average person. Listen to your inner voice and it will lead the way. This is something that the majority of investors need to do. Rather than listening to their inner voice, they follow the advice of stock market experts. But then, this is how most of us have lived our lives. The majority of us do not hear the voice inside our heads. Instead, we decide to work in finance or medicine because that is what our parents want us to do or because we want to make a lot of money. And when we make that decisions, consciously or unconsciously, we silence that little voice in our head. The biggest problem with following someone else's advice is that it could be wrong and limits your ability to form independent judgments. Consider Jobs. He'd always be a restless soul, a man with a plan. His plan, however, was not for everyone. It was his idea. He wanted to build computers, and so he did. Unfortunately, Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2004 and given only a week to live. Here's what he said to the Stanford commencement audience in 2005. "Your time is limited. Don't squander it living someone else's life. Don't get caught up in dogma, which is living with the outcomes of other people's thinking. Don't let the din of other people's opinion drown out your inner voice. More importantly, dare to listen to your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you aspire to be. Everything else is incidental. So, listen to your heart, your inner voice. Then, as an investor, you should pay attention to whatever this voice tells you. If it tells you to avoid the dud stock that everyone else is buying or to buy the great stock that everyone else is selling, do it." What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.